DogMan Dan here. We are in Warframe, and it feels like it's been a hot minute since the last time I made a video in Warframe. Um, so my apologies on that. I do have a number of them that I'd like to try to get done. Just things have been really busy. So we are here to talk about the latest update, 22.17.3. It's just a hotfix update, but or a little mini patch, if you will. It includes 4 new Augment mods, and this is kind of what I just want to discuss in this video. And then a couple of extra little features that you're going to love. But let's take a look at the 4 new Augment mods, if you will. Okay, so you get energy transfer, concentrated arrow, reaping chakram, and Mesa's waltz. Okay, obviously Mesa's waltz is for Mesa. Okay, which at a max guard can move at 50% speed while using Peacemaker. This is a reworked existing Conclave augment that applies to both Conclave and PvE. Okay, it's equipable in your Exilus slot and is available as an offering from Steel Meridian, Red Veil, and from Teshin in the Conclave syndicates, just as FYI. You have energy transfer. Okay, energy transfer at max. So 100% of the charge is conserved, when switching between forms. So this is going to be available in the Arbiters of Hexus and New Loka syndicates. So basically, you're conserving all your energy when you're switching between the two forms, the Mend and the Maim, if you will. You have Concentrated Arrow for Ivara, the Artemis Bow augment, if you will, which is going to fire a single arrow that, on headshots, has a 50% critical chance and explodes in a 7-meter radius. Okay, so at the max, it's a 50% critical chance and exploding in a 7-meter radius. That does not change whether it's the minimum card like this or the maximum. Okay, this is going to be available through the Cephalon Suda and the new the Parent Sequence syndicates. Okay, and then finally, for me, the most important one is the Nezo one, which is the Blazing Chakram augment, Reaping Chakram, if you will. So the chakram flies through enemies. Each enemy hit increases its damage and healing by 2 times. This is going to be available from Steel Meridian and Cephalon Suda. Yeah. So this is the one for me that I kind of like. And now you're wondering, but the Blazing Chakram only heals. Well, good news is that they changed that ability now. So with this hotfix, the increased the Chakram's base damage to 250, and they now have ability strength mods now affect both the health restore and the damage. So previously it was just affecting the health. Now it affects the health and the damage. So adding ability strength mods will help increase this ability. Here's the problem I still have, though. In terms of augment mods, I have no place to put them on most of my frames. I love the idea of them, but after years and years and years of doing this, we still do not have a specific mod slot available for augments. 95% of the time, I am not going to use an augment on my frames because I have a great setup and I don't feel like taking that setup and adding in an augment that may or may not really be that interesting. I would love to be able to use one and augment my actual setup instead of actually having to change my setup to fit an augment and not necessarily make my setup better. It may actually make it worse sometimes. So I'm still trying to figure out how I'm going to use this blazing chakram thing if I want to. But that's the same with pretty much all the augment mods, with the exception of a few like my Loki Prime that I've had set up for years with several augment mods, and I've been perfectly fine with it. But there's only a couple frames that a couple of augment mods are almost one of those things that you have to have on the frame. Otherwise, the rest of them, to me, sound great, but I'm not willing to change my modding to fit that on there, and that's just personal preference. Um, there's a couple other changes that they did here, but the most important part after adding in these augments, shush, is that you can now quick melee while you are spearfishing. So, enemies come running up on you while you're fishing, you can turn around, quick melee them, and go right back to spearfishing without having to re-equip your spear. I will catch you guys soon. Like I said, I do have a few videos that I am definitely behind on in terms of Warframe, but it's just been so busy here with me with real life things going on and issues. I just haven't had a lot of time. Appreciate you checking in, and I will catch you guys soon.